Hello, everybody, and welcome to Off the Rack. Tiffany's microphone isn't even in her face, but she said, hey, let's get started because we don't want to be behind. Good point. Excellent professionalism right here. No, Tiffany is a consummate professional.
I'm ready. I did that really quiet, too.
You did. You were incredible.
Quiet.
Well, you couldn't be any more quiet since the microphone was about 10 miles away from your face.
Yes, I know. I'm aware.
Yes, I know.
I know. You didn't notice.
No, I did.
Why didn't you say something?
Well, you kept giving me the
like,
high sign to let's go, and I was like, all right.
I was fixing my hat. I was fixing my hat.
Great. So this week on Off the Rack, we got a lot going on. There's a lot of news in the comic book world. We're not going to cover that right now. In fact, this is a show where we take the comic books of the past week, recap them, review them, tell you what we thought about them, and then we recommend comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out. There's a lot going on. We do the news, we do the reviews, we take your super chats, which you graciously bestow upon us during the live show, and sponsoring the show itself. We do a whole segment of that, pick out our book of the week, and then we recommend books that are coming out this week. That's how the show normally goes. It's going to be a little different this week, so hang on, stay there for a second. I just want to lock in for a minute because I got a fun topic. It's an attempt to try something new, reinvent ourselves a little bit, but also give us a little bit of leeway. We have two massive electronics coming to our house tomorrow that are changing our lives. Theoretically, hopefully in the best way, in the most domestic way.
Yes.
We're getting a new refrigerator and a new oven. I didn't really bundle them, but I got them at the same place, and they're going to be delivered at the same time.
Which means they'll break at the same time too.
Great. Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
That'll be fantastic.
We're very fortunate.
Yes.
That we've had the two that we've had.
Oh yeah.
For
No.
a very
The
long
refrigerator purchased in 1997. Not by us.
Not by us.
It was inherited.
We just know it's that old.
Yeah.
So we've just been hoping.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
But
explode.
Everything's been working out fine. Point being, I didn't have a chance to read a lot of books this week, and so instead, I thought we'd try out this discussion episode.
Discuss things.
But we are going to fix an error that we committed on the last week's episode. We forgot to recommend the books.
Oh yeah, no, we
just completely forgot. I was in the car driving back to the house, and I went, "Oh yeah, we didn't recommend anything."
I didn't even think of it.
We will be recommending books this week. Do not let us forget, chat. But
take us to task.
It's true. But all the segments are still going to be there. We're still going to pick our book of the week. It's just not going to be in a whole review. We're still going to do the super chats. We're still going to do the recommendations. It's just we're going to talk about this thing that is near and dear to my heart. It's very interesting. It's a topic that I thought the audience might get a kick out of. And hey, by the way, if you're interested in more over here at youtube.com/ComicPop Returns, like this video and subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications so you know when our shows go live. We just dropped an episode of No Comic Required, a big old conversation topic podcast that I do with primarily the guys, Ben and Ethan. And this week was no exception. We talked about how if Tron bombed, what other oft ignored 80s IP will they try to plumb next? And so we pitched a couple of ideas, talked about Dread for a while for some reason, because even though I said to them, we have to pick an 80s property, Ethan was like, Dread. And I was like, Dread was 2012. And he's like, yes. I didn't understand the assignment and I didn't pay attention. But it's fair because the audience really responded to the fact that we want to see Dread come back.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I don't blame them. It's just like, I was like, whoa. My issue was really more like, well, we could just talk about Dread for an hour. We don't need to waste this episode. We got two topics every week. I got to do a show. We got to cherry pick these things.
Yeah, you can't just waste it.
Exactly. We'll do a whole Dread episode one day. A Dread episode, if you will.
I will not.
But that's fair. So check out that episode. It went live on Friday, and we have a couple of interviews from New York Comic Con. Another one's coming tomorrow. I'm sure you'll check that out as well. It's with Tristan Jones, artist on Event Horizon Dark Descent. Fantastic artist, and if you haven't checked him out on social media, you should. I believe his social media handles are Tristan Bones, but he actually pulled the photo that we took at New York Comic Con, which had a special photobomb guest.
Oh, really?
Pop in, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes. His rep asked for me to send him that photo, and then it went out there.
They're like, and some person.
Yes, and whoever this guy is, lots of fans of Dark Descent, including
me,
including Tiffany.
Me.
But yeah,
it's a great book.
So here's what's going on.
What's going on?
I was.
So wait, are we doing hot takes first, or are we doing any comic conversations?
I guess we could do a little bit of comics. before we
You
get
tell me.
started.
Whatever you want to do.
We did read a couple of comics, so I guess we could talk about them.
Let everybody
Tiffany,
get settled. Get settled. Everybody get settled. Settle in.
Jesus,
Settle
calm
in,
down,
everybody.
But
Whew.
we did read a book that I was excited to check out because I never thought it would ever happen. And then it did, and it was
sure
here, and I was
did.
like, oh yeah, that's right. This thing exists.
It does, and it exists in such a way that you can't even find it right now.
No, that's right.
But it definitely, I think you're in the wrong, are you in the wrong week?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It's there somewhere.
Yes.
But it's a crossover.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, you're a fan
of. Yes,
you're
that's
a
right.
fan of the crossover concept.
I do love the crossover. So.
Now, like, and the crossover usually for you is, two companies.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And in this instance, it is, and there it is.
Yep.
And it isn't at the same time because technically both properties are owned by Disney. By Disney.
Yeah. But for some reason, Disney is not interested in using the #1 comic publisher to make Gargoyles comics. So instead, they've graciously allowed Dynamite to take over.
Yep.
And so Dynamite has the Gargoyles license, whereas Marvel has the Fantastic Four, of course. That's where they're from.
Yep.
But they did a crossover.
Absolutely.
And here it is.
Sorry, somebody put in chat Mulan Predator.
That would be awesome.
I would read that.
That's not funny. That's a great idea.
That's not
not funny. That's a pitch. What are you talking about? Just for the love of God, let somebody else write it.
It's amazing.
But yeah, so this came out.
It did. It absolutely.
I didn't see like any talking about it outright,
Okay.
but here it is. Fantastic Four Gargoyles.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, Greg Weisman and I don't know who that is. Enid Balam working on this book. Yeah, it's great.
It is great. And especially if you're a person who had watched the show. Obviously this is kind of building off of there's been lots of comic book history.
Well, and Dynamite relaunched
out.
the Gargoyles brand. There's been a long-standing Gargoyles run from Dynamite, and Greg Weisman's been at the helm the entire time. So it's like the show never ended.
Right, but if you hadn't read any of that and you just were like, "Can I just pick this up?"
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll figure it out.
You'll catch it.
If honestly, if you're a Gargoyles fan, I feel like you're gonna have more fun with this.
Well, yeah.
I think Fantastic Four folks will enjoy it.
Sure,
but I think if you're a Gargoyles fan, you're gonna have a good time. You're just gonna have fun.
Yeah.
There's just so many nods to things. You because it's written by Weisman, it sounds like the shows.
Yeah.
Everyone, all the
voices
Gargoyles
are authentic.
characters sound like they should. They talk the way that they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really good stuff.
I know. Yeah. Balam's art was good, serviceable.
I actually thought it really fit.
I think it did. Yeah, it fit the very Saturday morning kind of feel.
Strikes a balance between the two worlds.
Actually, it shouldn't have been Saturday morning, more like a weekday afternoon, Disney
Mm-hmm,
afternoon. But yeah, it had that feel, but without it being like how DC Sonic the Hedgehog was very Sonic, very much in that world. This one is just more like a good blend of both worlds.
Yes.
Pitch, of course, is that they both exist in the same universe. And the idea being that apparently Diablo has been mucking around with Gargoyles since time immemorial.
Sure.
I worked with Demona back in the day, back before everyone was, before the castle rose above the clouds, and then we pay that off in the present day where we watch both teams deal with everything you'd expect. We're dealing with Gargoyles. What's a good Marvel villain? Not really Fantastic Four villain, but I'll take it. Gray Gargoyle.
Sure.
How about him?
Yeah, you got to get him in there.
We got a purple guy who flies. Put Dragon Man in there. Yes, works for me. Also Diablo, because
you described.
Whatever.
I was like, "Who's a purple guy?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess
Goliath.
I guess.
Yeah,
I just
Goliath
never thought of him
exactly.
that."
But it's great.
It is really great. I feel like everyone's at least on the Gargoyle side, everybody is authentically who they are.
Yeah, Brooklyn, Bronx, Hudson.
I mean, even Xanatos is
Xanatos, and who does he team up with or cross over with?
He's there with Tony Stark, which
Tony
is
Stark. We got a little extra
genius.
bonus Iron Man crossover in there.
Love those two.
Yeah.
Out egoing each other, but his motivations are very in keeping.
Oh, 100%.
Very in keeping. I just really had fun with it. It was very fast paced, very quick,
and a done in one.
done in one. There could have been more.
Oh, easily. I
Could
thought
have
it was
been
going to
more.
be like a setup for a kind of mini series.
I
but
hoped it was, because I was like, well, he writes very episodically.
yeah,
So I was like, yeah, that could be an episode, and then there's like another episode.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see Gargoyles team up with like Spider-Man.
Oh my
I'd
God.
love to see Gargoyles team up with Daredevil.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Gargoyles team up with Luke Cage.
right. I mean, I
Like,
imagine
that would be a lot of fun.
you know, it makes sense to me. Hey, Marvel, you know,
Like, just do the X Gargoyles series and then put them all together. Like, I just feel like it's right there, and like, there's so many Marvel heroes that call New York their homes.
Yeah.
There's just so many
just
opportunities.
Avengers Gargoyles would be great.
Right?
But yeah, I'm on board for this. I'm on board for more. Even though it looked, you know, it was like, okay, well, there's a Fantastic Four movie. You guys have the Gargoyles license. I guess that makes sense. No. This is fun. So I was happy to see that was a thing that worked out and continues to validate my love for crossovers.
Yes, absolutely.
What else do you want to talk about?
Vindicated. Really quickly, just because of the fact that this was, I believe, the last issue.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about Krypto very quickly.
Oh yeah.
This is the last issue.
You were not happy with the last one, so how are we doing now?
Well, I mean, like, this was the last one. I think it was the last one. I think it's the end. I don't remember. All
Yes.
I know is, this is obviously just like, they're like, oh, we got to get Krypto where he needs to be. So like, Krypto makes it to Kansas. He stops like a home invasion gone wrong, essentially.
Okay.
And
I don't know how that would go right, but
well, I mean, like, I don't know if I don't know if the person planned on hurting these people or was just, I don't
see.
know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, there's a home invasion, essentially. Someone, a woman with a gun. She's got a whole family. Like, Krypto is shot, but like, because he's super powered, the bullet bounces off, and then like Krypto has PTSD to the other dog dying, and I was like,
oh my God.
could we not? Could we not? Needless to say, Krypto catches a scent on the wind and then flies to the Kent home, where he destroys. He knocks over like the combine or whatever that Pa Kent has.
Oh yeah.
Pa immediately is like, "Huh,
Mm-hmm.
you we'll get the boy to fix this, but
Right.
you seem familiar."
Yeah.
And you know, we've got we've got a lot of experience.
Right. Dealing with strangers.
Yeah. With like strays, essentially. Not really.
Yeah, that's fine.
So like, he brings him home, and then like, I do love this moment where Martha's at home and like Pa's outside, and he's like, Martha, open the door now. And like, he's like, quickly, and just flies through the house to find Clark, because he can smell him.
Oh.
And he's very excited, and it's really, really sweet. And Cal immediately is like, can we keep him? Because he has a
Aw.
dog now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he's like maybe a teenager, preteen.
Right. Okay.
Probably preteen.
Okay.
And it's really sweet. They're like, oh yeah, we found this, like, we didn't think much of it, and it's like his dog tag, and like, and that's it. It's very sweet. Was this issue worth 4 issues
Of misery.
for me, like, absolute sadness?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a joyous
I
issue.
feel like it was disproportionate.
It's very sweet, and it's a lot of fun. Like, this issue, like, it's like, I love seeing the Kents. I love seeing them recognize like where he's from, and that like, obviously they're gonna have to like deal with this, but like, they're gonna keep him. But like, I don't know if it was worth it.
That's fair.
I don't, because like, that
That last issue.
animal violence is something that really affects me.
Yes.
And so like, for me personally, I don't know if it was worth it.
I hear you.
You know, like, I it's not reality.
Mhm.
The fact that I'm like, I want all animals to be totally fine. I'm like, it's not reality. But like,
Yeah.
sometimes I just don't want to read about it for 4 issues.
That's
you know?
fair. Yeah.
So I think I either needed more joy
Mhm.
mixed in there. That last issue was just so disproportionately like solemn and like in your face. I don't know. Anyway,
Mhm.
but like, again, this was a very joyous issue, except for that one moment.
Yep.
And again, it's very fun to see that the Kents have to deal with, you know, Clark meeting a dog.
Oh
and,
sure.
you know, like a normal kid finding a dog or a cat or in anything and like doing the can we keep it, but it's a super
You gotta
dog,
ratchet it up.
like, oh boy.
Uh huh. Well, I read Amazing Spider-Man 14. Joe Kelly, Todd Nauck, and Ed McGuinness. This is a terrestrial issue. It's about Norman basically being told by the Spider family, like, you don't get to be a Spider-Man. We'll take care of it. And Ben Reilly kind of like just doing his thing.
That's like kind of insulting.
I mean, like, it's Norman Osborn. He murdered a teenager, but like,
I know.
and one of the people who tells him not to is the teenager he murdered, but like from another universe. I don't know. It's Spider-Man's a mess. This issue in particular reminds you of that, when like 16 Spider-Man people show up and they go, hey, There's no room for one more because you were a bad guy. Don't talk to Kane, though, or Ben Reilly, or anybody else who may have murdered somebody else. I mean, it's Norman Osborn. I understand, like, I've had an issue with Norman Osborn and his redemptive arc forever, but also, like, I don't know. It's like, it's part of the problem, which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
It's well written. It's fun. This is Norman's issue where he's like, I don't have any right. Like he constantly is like, I know that you hate me, reader. I know that like I have no right to be Spider-Man. Like Peter didn't ask me to be Spider-Man. Like I'm just doing what I think is right, which I haven't been able to do for a while, if ever. So I'm just trying. Meanwhile, like Ben is just crushing it being Peter, except for the fact that he can't talk to May because like May's mad at him for like the umpteenth time. There's actually like this issue kind of like spread a little bit across social media because like, May wasn't dressed like she's from the 1800s. Like she's like a New York gilf.
Sure.
Because that's what they draw her as now.
Okay.
She's like, I'm hot.
It's the worst May of it all.
Right. Exactly. But like, you're still like 100 years old. And she's,
in the comics.
Yeah. But she's like, she's given, she's dropping off a note for Peter. I guess Ben and Jeannie are like living in his apartment. So Jeannie like puts on a mask that makes her a sexy girl that like, I guess she implies that like Peter's just like dating around or something. And May is like, oh, and I'm like, oh, you're this now, May? Okay. I guess every 10 years you got to change into another person. So whatever. But May's like, well, if Peter feels necessary to call me, he can. Here's another letter. I wrote 1,000 letters since Peter's been gone. And I'm like, okay. And you've been hand delivering them. And also you're mad at Peter. Like, I don't even know what to think about you. Also, the only thing about it is that like the doctor wants to run some tests. Maybe I have cancer from the Nick Spencer run, or maybe I don't. Did anybody ever deal with that? No? Okay. Maybe we will deal with that. Who knows? Bye. You're like, okay, that's fine. Anyway, Norman's like dragged into it. But the point is that like Norman is like, all right, I won't be Spider-Man. That was an inappropriate thing. And then like he gets attacked by like as Norman Osborn by a robot.
Okay.
And so he's like, I gotta help. Like I gotta do what I can. So he becomes Spider-Man again. He's like, oh man, like even every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Right.
And then there's a big last page reveal, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like
I was want to be in space, Peter.
Yeah, I just want to go to space. I don't care about what's happening on Earth. I will say this cover's great. I'm a big fan. Point of order. Doesn't look like a 50-year-old man is in that suit. Like it's just Spider-Man, but with like some stuff on his cuffs. But like, all right. I like what they used. I like what they did with the lettering. I like the dynamic pose. It's a fun cover.
Yeah.
It's not Norman. It's just like it's just a Spider-Man reskin, but like, it's still fun. It's just a cool cover. I'm like, yeah, all right. We're back to that. Where we don't tell you what happens in the covers or inside the books. And I bet I know why, because they have no idea. They're like, I don't know what's happening week to week.
Sure. They just,
they're like, Larraz draws the covers for his run, and Ed McGuinness is busy trying to keep up with the interiors.
Okay.
So here's this. Sorry. By neither of them. But it's fine. All right. Anyway, that's fine.
All right. Fair.
Yep. You want to talk about anything else, or are you good?
Do you want to talk about World Under Doom really quickly?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But New Gods was awesome. That's it.
Yep, what a shock.
It's
I'm
great.
glad to hear it.
Good stuff.
Yep. I think there's one more.
That it feels like it could be. Yes. We'll see where that lands.
Yep, one more. Really
quickly, just one World Under Doom. Ryan North and a person drawing them. I had it open and then I just slid as far from the credits page as possible. Why? I don't know. But I did it. That's what I did. I did that. RV Silva. Thank you. Literally just was like, hi, can I get as far away from that page as possible? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, really, what I just wanted to bring up in this issue was that, like, obviously, this is the fallout of everything that happened in the last one. And, like, at this point, I really don't necessarily care about this book.
Yeah, you were kind of like a fierce defender of this book until you weren't.
Until I wasn't. Until it decided to go very, like, and I thought this was doing something interesting, and it turns out it wasn't doing anything interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe it will. I don't know. I'll stick around. It's like, there's one more issue. I might as well just read the last issue.
Yeah.
What I will say is this issue is like, I'm always a little worried when we see a lot of outside influences where the comics aren't influencing the licenses movies that they are being licensed, or the people who are there, like their products are being licensed out to.
Right, exactly.
In this, during one of the fights, whilst Doom and Valeria are having a like astral plane conversation.
Okay.
Pretty smart the way that
they handle that.
How she gets there, how she's just like, we just need to like do it quietly, and I need to get his attention. Like he needs to bring me to him. And so she uses Morse code, and they're like, we can send like a short message. They're like, just 3 letters. and like they come up with like VAL.
Oh, okay.
And so they send it, and like he immediately pulls her in, and it's actually really sweet. Like as far as Doom goes, because he's just like, yeah, I'm like in the middle of like a really big battle, but like Doom always has time for his goddaughter, and I'm like very sweet. But like in the fight, everyone's there, and so Storm and Johnny Storm are on the field, and therefore they put together like a fire, like they combine their abilities.
Oh,
literally like in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
it feels
really
like,
okay, but like it's that type of stuff that I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Welcome to the synergy problem.
Yeah, and that's what it is. That's really just what it is. And it's innocuous.
Right, like
until
who cares?
Until it's not.
Right, exactly. Like for now, it's like,
until
okay,
it's a line-wide event coming up, which should be fun.
Right, but also
not
Queen in Black is literally just just like the initiative they did during Marvel Rivals. Now it's the biggest news from Marvel at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
They're like, ladies and gentlemen, we're ripping off what the video games did. And actually, since like they license us, technically they're the ripoffs, even though they had the idea.
And that's really all I wanted to mention. I mean, like, freaking Reed is still like he's melting and also doing magic, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
okay, stop with the magic. Reed Richards, get away.
Yeah,
you're not welcome here.
In his own book, I think he
in
is.
The world of magic.
I see.
And the Thing gets to wield
Clobber Doom.
No, didn't you see this?
No.
Oh,
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, because Beta Ray Bill was there.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I think Stormbreaker. Anybody can pick that up.
Well, not according to him. He says, "Look, Ma, like it turns out, like I'm worthy after all," or like
I don't remember. I don't know.
And then like everybody.
Well, it got destroyed.
Well, then everybody gets destroyed. Everybody gets real wrecked.
Yeah.
Until they don't, because oops, he seemingly hit Valeria.
Yeah. That was the thing I heard about.
Which I'm like, I assume that's fake.
Right. Maybe,
or maybe
not.
Or
they'll kill a child in a comic book.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Great. Sounds fun. So yeah. I was on social media the other day.
Oh, also, Absolute Flash was good.
Oh yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Great.
We talk a little bit about how Barry got involved in the first place, and Jay Garrick, and Eobard, and how like the Flash suit that they were wearing, like that Barry had, that Wally now has, were suits that they were using to go into this like place that they found
to get Speed Force.
Well, they're getting the red material or something like that. They want to grab that, but that's what they used to go in there. That's how like anybody used it. To go in there.
Okay.
And so that's the thing.
That's cool.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
Anyway, neat stuff.
Great.
Just kind of catches you up, and seemingly like, Wally gets a message, or no, Barry gets a message before he
dies.
No, before he gets to Wally and tells him that like the message is like it has to be Wally.
Oh.
And so like Barry may be good, may not be good. I don't know.
Okay. That's fun. Yeah. I'm glad the Absolute books are continuing. We should have a discussion at some point or another, like about the Absolute versus Ultimate of it all. How like one book, or one line, the Absolute line is like so interwoven in an event / story / like terminal point where it's like, oh, that you could easily end the Absolute Universe, and the Ultimate Universe is the exact opposite, and yet the wrong one is being ended. Even though I think neither one of them should end, I don't think that we should end the Absolute Universe, but it's just funny because like, oh, that's right, there was some news. Hickman had no intention of ending the Ultimate Universe.
What?
That Dan Buckley did it.
Who the hell is Dan Buckley?
He's one of the executives at Marvel. That he was like, no, we had the 2-year contract. I made all the arrangements that it was going to end, right? You said you wanted to end it. And Hickman's like, nope, I did not say I wanted to end it. He's like, oh, because I already ended it. Oops. That was from Hickman on a podcast. And I'm like, man, get your stuff together. And when I say that, I mean like Hickman shouldn't have said that on a podcast.
Yeah.
Dan Buckley shouldn't have made that kind of a decision without consulting Hickman if Marvel's going to pretend like Hickman is a non-executive executive. Like, get like, you're grown-ups who run a company. Like, act like it.
Yeah.
No wonder Marie doesn't want to do crossovers. It's like, I was there. It was rough. Those guys those people do not know how to run their shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, so I mean, look, the fact is, if the Ultimate Universe does end, it'll come back next year.
Yeah,
They'll just be like, okay,
probably.
right?
I could see that.
I mean, Camp's doing a Batman book, so Camp's leaving. Like, there's no way Camp's staying at Marvel. So, like, if that's the case, then who's going to be the architect of the Ultimate Universe?
I guess Hickman.
I don't think so. I think he's like, I'm done.
Okay,
like, I'm out.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't want to deal with it all the time. Anyway, so I was on Twitter, and I saw this post from General Zod, of all characters, who said, what are your Spider-Man hot takes? And I thought that was interesting because, like, and it wasn't interesting. I've seen it a lot. I've seen, like, the Spider-Man hot takes a lot. But I saw 480 quote retweets about it.
Wow.
Where people were like, I've got opinions.
They got big opinions, big ideas,
They do.
big doings.
Right? Like, and it ranges. It's actually fascinating to see who weighs in and what people really have a strong opinion about. Like, I saw a lot of discussion about the back spider in the movies. Like, oh, I think that, like, Tom Holland's post No Way Home back spider is better than, the back spider that Andrew Garfield had. I'm like, what a hot take. Oh, don't burn yourself on that take. That being said, my hot take would be that, fat stumpy spider or nothing.
I know that's your favorite.
But anyway, that's hardly a hot take. But yeah, so
to some people it is.
Well, and it's true. I think people are like, they're like, how dare you? But I thought, you know what, folks, if you're going to be respectful in the chat, of course, make sure to share your hot take about Spider-Man and see who you cross over with, who you vehemently disagree with. I'm interested to see that kind of conversation going on.
Okay.
But
be nice to each other.
But of course, be respectful and cool with each other as always. But I wanted to share a few that I saw that got a lot of engagement, and then share our own that we might have.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the back spider was one of them. Let's see here. My hot take is that it's okay to gatekeep Spider-Man. Like, it's great that he resonates with everybody, but I would never take that away. But I don't want people supporting the stupid idea that Spider-Man is about all the things I disagree with. And I'm like, that's a terrible take.
That's a terrible take.
It's
No.
That is hot though. Clone Saga was the best thing that ever happened to Spider-Man.
That's just someone saying
that's
something.
red hot.
That's not. No.
I saw one that's not real. It's more of a movie superhero kind of take, but I do agree. And it's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies are the most comic accurate superhero movies ever made. And I'm like, I think you might be right.
I don't.
Like, I think you're right. I don't know of any other, like, comic book superhero main, like, big budget movie that is more accurate in terms of, like, getting as many things checked off. Like, they even made Eddie Brock Catholic and put him in the church. You know what I mean? Like, all these things.
Right.
That while also, of course, doing things like aping off of the cartoon show and, like, like making Eddie a photographer. I'm like, he's not a photographer. He's a newspaper reporter. He didn't work for the Daily Bugle. He didn't even know Jameson. But that's an interesting take. I think that it's funny with the news that the Ultimate Universe is ending. I think people were like, I saw there was a take about Ultimate Spider-Man where they were like, I think one of their hot takes was like, Ultimate Spider-Man 2022 or whatever, when it came out, was supposed to be generational and instead will be forgotten.
You think?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it doesn't have enough of an impact and there weren't enough stories being told about that character for it to resonate with people.
Okay.
Like, the people who read it will be like, this is amazing. And people who will read it are going to go, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Like, that's cool that went it's cool that happened, but it didn't go anywhere and it didn't tell any, like, I still don't know who Peter Parker is, as opposed to like Ultimate Spider-Man 2000 or 99. I think it's 2000.
Okay.
Like, that Peter, people like prefer that Peter.
Right.
To the 616 Peter.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man. Miles is more Spider-Man than Peter Parker at this point. These are just ones I'm reading off the top of my head.
Yes.
The anyone can be Spider-Man concept is stupid.
Okay.
Spider-Man is overrated and generally misinterpreted. That is an interesting.
Ooh, that's a take.
Spider-Man should not be in high school anymore.
Yes. I
I
mean,
agree.
he's not.
Spider totems suck. Spider totems suck, and the whole spider family also sucks. Did I write this?
Wow. Did you?
No, I didn't. Spider-Man needs a permanent love interest, so he has someone to fight for. That's an interesting take.
That is an interesting
Or at least
take.
it's an interesting philosophy.
That is a very interesting take.
Peter absolutely. I will say this as the resident Spider-Man expert. I will say
yes,
Peter
you are
needs.
1,000%. I'm really just like a talking board for you.
It's true. No, we're both. Well, I'd love to get your opinion because you didn't grow up on Spider-Man outside of like just
Like,
generally being culturally aware of him.
I'm very culturally aware.
You're culturally
of him.
aware, but also that you have grown and had your own opinions about this character.
Yes.
Certainly you've had your own interpretation. Spider-Man
sure
is
do.
like ubiquitous. Everybody knows the Spider-Man interpretation that they like. But yeah, I think Spider-Man has always had a woman that he loves who has motivated him to plumb the depth of his abilities to overcome. Whether it's Aunt May, Mary Jane, Gwen, though I gotta be honest with you, I do not remember a lot of issues of Peter lifting a big heavy thing going, gotta do it for Gwen.
Right.
He should have worn a cape. That is a hot take.
A cape?
A cape.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. And also it's been thoroughly debunked.
Like, I understand that you're thinking of Batman, who also like goes across the city.
Flips around.
Yeah, he does a bunch of stuff, but like no.
Yeah. A cape.
I don't know why that's the one.
I love that. I love how
like,
hot that is. That is piping hot.
No.
Nuclear, you
That
might say.
that's not a hot take. That is incorrect.
Now I will tell you this. There is a generational Spider-Man, a classic Spider-Man who does have a cape, and it's Miguel O'Hara. Spider-Man 2099 technically has a web cape. It is a short thing, and it's made of webs. It's not like a cape.
Well, it's
like
not a
Robin.
Cape. That's like
it's more like a capelet.
It's like having a cobweb stuck to your head.
Yeah, but it's also aesthetic. he used it to glide too. It's great.
I disagree with this.
Let's see here. He should be okay. Organic webs are better than web shooters. I can't believe I had to scroll that far to get it. I disagree. But
also disagree with that.
If you grew up on the Tobey Maguire movies, you believe that. Like that's just
sure.
Like that I believe that's the fact. Like if you think that the organic webbing is better, it's because you grew up on on that movie. And you're like, yeah, it's simpler, it's easier, it's cleaner, it's quicker. And like, look, the truth is, having been there, having read Wizard leading up to that movie's release, I can tell you that I agreed.
Yeah.
Not that they were better, not that they should replace it in the comics, but I get the motivation. In fact, in the original movie, before they even finished it, they had to CG out the web shooters. They did have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man build web shooters.
Okay.
And they had to CG them out and then reshot and changed it.
Okay.
But like, so even then, like it was a hot button issue even while they were making that movie.
Yeah.
I understand. Like I completely understand the motivation of doing that, where they're like, how about the spider bites him and he just has webbing? Like, how about we don't have to deal with that? You know? And I'm like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to deal with that. That's like saying, how about we just don't put J. Jonah Jameson in this movie? I'm looking at you, Mark Webb, but which is outrageous. How could you avoid how? That's just a failure on Disney's part, by the way. Just the MCU, where they were like, J.K. Simmons again.
Yeah,
I'm like, what a golden opportunity. I was so hyped to see what the MCU take on J. Jonah Jameson is, because it's such a fun opportunity. Like to see somebody else do something with that character, or to like, who do you pick, right? I remember there being like a lot of discussion about it back when that happened. Like there were people from Stephen Colbert to Terry Crews. People were pitching J. Jonah Jamesons.
Okay,
and I was like, I like a lot of these ideas. Neither of those, but I did like a lot of the and I had my own thoughts. And I'm like, these are cool. And they were like, how about bald J.K. Simmons? I mean, he is bald,
right?
That's a toupee in the Raimi movies. But you know, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I know it worked. Stop. That's like making Hugh Jackman Wolverine your main MCU Wolverine. Like I don't have any good ideas. I don't know anything, and I'm tired of trying. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Wolverine. Big lenses are better than small lenses. I like that a lot.
I know you like those.
I like that. I like that opinion. I like seeing that in the comments.
I've never thought about it.
That's it. Yeah. Well, you know,
I don't think about that, but I understand why you like. it definitely affects the costume.
Yes. I'll tell you this. The big lenses affect me. Like when I came along, it was Bagley, it was McFarlane.
Yeah.
They were the big lenses. And you know what I thought? Like how I felt as a kid? Small lenses meant old. Meant old Spider-Man.
Okay.
Old comics had the small lenses.
Okay.
New modern stuff, big lenses.
Okay.
Which is also funny because McFarlane put in the book, I don't remember if it was Michelini or McFarlane who actually wrote it, where I assume it's McFarlane because it's a reference to Felix the Cat. Mary Jane's like, I don't understand why you have these huge eye things. And Pete's like, it's easier to see through them if they're bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you look like Felix the Cat.
I think you're gonna really enjoy this commenter here and then here.
Hot take. Fat back spider over the ones we've gotten for Toby Andrew and Tom. Yeah, I agree. And also small front spider while you're at it. Yeah, I agree.
Is that, do you have like a dummy account?
Yeah, that's just me. That's I timed those to drop into the chat. I have a bot that takes care of those for me. This represents me in the chat.
Yep.
But no, I agree. Fat back spider, little spider.
Yeah.
I also I've grown I've gotten over the front spider. Like I used to have strong opinions about what the front spider should be. I just don't care anymore. Like it's okay if it's like two ovals and then legs that come out the top. It could be the two ovals and then 6 arms out of each
but
side.
If you had a choice, if they're like, you could pick.
Oh, it's Bagley's. Bagley's version of the chest.
Is that a little one?
It's a little one, and it's like very stylized.
Okay.
There's also a Tom Lyle version that I like a lot, where it's like it's more Ben Reilly. Like if you look at the Ben Reilly hoodie, he has a huge spider across the front. It's just the same spider but gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the Ben Reilly spider, that's the spider I want, but not like that.
Right.
Never like that. One of my hot takes forever was like Ben Reilly is a usurper who should go, but then he did die. So I was happy for a good decade or so. Spider-Man 2 from the Insomniac game should be his modern update. Like that should just be it. That's fair. Spider-Man should always feel like a weird bug man, and every time they lean away from that, they lose what makes him special. That's a funny. I never like that. For me, that's why he dresses like the American flag. He's like, I got bit by a spider, but I don't think spiders are like awesome. Like I don't want to be covered in them. I don't want to eat a room full of spiders.
Is the idea here? Sorry, I'm just trying to fix my. There they go.
Oh yeah,
there we go. I gotta get comfy.
Naturally.
Here. I'm in it to win it here. Is the idea possibly that he's like, because Captain America exists in this world, that like he was influenced by?
There have been interpretations of that. Like
Okay.
I've seen that execution. Yes, Peter has been inspired by Captain America in non-canon versions of him. So one could argue that yes. I mean, like there's no way that Uncle Ben wasn't a Captain America fan. So I'm sure that subliminally Peter might have been influenced to like emulate Captain America. But Peter wasn't making that suit to be a hero. He was making that suit to be a wrestler. So my guess is Peter was more thinking marketable, where he's like, this is a God-fearing all-American country. If I want to make a wrestler that's going to resonate with people, I got to make it be red, white, and blue.
Okay.
No white, fine. Black. That's cooler. Plus wrestling. Yeah. Although, that being said, he didn't actually wear a Spider-Man costume when he fought Crusher Hogan. He wore like a white turtleneck and a pair of blue pants and like and a webbing head. He made that suit when he was going to go on TV. He was like, I'm going on TV. I got to make a suit. And it can't just be whatever the hell I was wearing in that ring. So, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Because people conflate that.
Sure.
He didn't fight Crusher Hogan and then ignore the burglar. The burglar was later. Anyway. Really bothers me when people say that Peter Parker having anger issues is the defining character trait. Yeah, Peter does have anger issues. There's no doubt about it. Peter's a coiled spring of a man. It's just him being a complete a-hole for no reason. Peter is that. That's the thing. Like, Peter's an interesting character. He is, like, for me, if I can insert a hot take here, or at least any take, Peter isn't an everyman in the same way that, like, Superman is like an ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's a very specific person. And that's why they're like, anyone can be Spider-Man. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, anyone can be, but only Peter is. And Peter's Spider-Man is a poor kid from Queens who lost his parents when he was a kid, who was raised by his non-parents,
Aunt
May and Uncle Ben. he was a nerd, he was bullied, but he was good looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he thinks he had it worse than he really did. Like he's a person who like he used to be a libertarian. Like he's had his politics change. He's had his like worldview change. He's been like quick to anger, quick to judgment. And like, but he's grown. And that's the thing about Peter is that he's always adaptable / will grow up. Like
Right.
Peter, when he gets new, the difference between Peter and many people that we have to deal with nowadays is like that when Peter gets new information, he might change his opinion or personality.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, other than within that Vermin episode we did,
The
has
Child
Peter
Within.
done a lot of therapy?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's why.
Which like tracks.
So then he's like exactly the way he would be because he doesn't have
he doesn't get help. He doesn't let
go of anything, and he just keeps
No.
adding on.
Uh-huh.
Like it's just like guilt doesn't displace other guilt. It just you think
just
it
fills
does.
up. Yeah, it just adds to it. It's just a garbage pile.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Peter. Peter definitely. He's the bathroom rug. He absorbs everything he touches. It all just.
Ew.
And then here's the one that got me to actually like want to talk about this.
Oh, here we go. I'm ready. Wait, is it more
about the back spider
than the cape? Because the cape is so far the only thing that I had such a reaction.
No, because I've heard this before. I've may have even.
So the cape is the most divisive thing.
I think clearly. I mean
clearly,
more than the organic
incorrect.
versus mechanical web shooters. It's a cape. He looks like an idiot in the cape. Whether you look at the Marvel Zombies crap in the cartoons, or you look at when he was that. There's one where like he goes in I think Spider-Verse. I don't remember. There's like a superhero, like big time superhero. Uncle Ben didn't die. Spider-Man where he has a big cape and he looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, no capes. McFarlane put it best in like I think Spider-Man #1 from '91, where he's like, the best thing about this is that I don't have a cape. I couldn't pull off all these mid-air cartwheels without it.
Yeah.
I don't know how Thor does it.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. So does Edna.
Yeah. Hilariously, Spawn, who is just, Spider-Man in a cape.
But his cape's like alive.
That's the thing. It gets out of the way.
Yeah.
And he's got the chains. The chains also push the cape out of the way. Because the chains are alive as well. Other part of the costume.
They do as they
the
do.
costume's alive.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Costume alive is different.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? So maybe symbiote Spider-Man should have a cape.
No, stop. Spider-Man should just not have a cape.
No. The only time I want to see Spider-Man have a cape is when I'm looking at Spawn. But yeah, so this one is.
All right, here's the one.
It's just he's too far gone.
You
can't help him now. He's too far gone. We have to put him down, like for a solid 20 to 30 years. Just the comics, the rest can stay. I'm like, you are wrong. But this is the discussion where I was like, where people were like, basically they're saying he's damaged as a character, like because of the mishandling of him over the last like few runs. Mm-hmm. He's broken. Like since One More Day, he's been ruined.
He's like those like sad but hopeful stories that you see like on your feed where it's like this animal was like fine and then lived with this family and they ruined them.
Yeah.
And now like we gotta take them. We gotta work with them to hopefully like get them back so they can find some joy in their lives.
Or it's like reading Kevin Smith's blog about like what it was like to deal with Jay until he got sober, because like every time that Jay would get sober, he would immediately backslide. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, he'd give him a job. We'd get a new Jay and Bob movie and then he would be on meth. And it's like, it was exhausting to read, because also I've known people who are addicts and it is exhausting to live and not even be that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like being a Spider-Man fan is like, it's not hard, because it's not hard to be a fan of anything. Because like anybody who says it's hard to be a Star Wars fan is you need to take a step back, because like you're a fan of a thing that doesn't exist. Like calm down.
Yeah.
It's hard to like raise kids without like support. Like it's hard to mow a lawn uphill. It's not hard to just stop reading Spider-Man. But dealing with like Spider-Man is a hard book to read or love, because he is too popular. So there are too many people who have too big opinions about him. And so you'll never get like an authentic experience reading the book in the mainline continuity, because he can never afford to be too specific,
Mhm.
because then he won't appeal to as many people as the people who are in charge of him now think he should be. And like, that's the real inherent problem. And I don't hear a lot about that being discussed. Usually I just hear people say like, well, no, he punched Black Cat in the nose, and he broke up his marriage, and like he's acted like a man-child for the span of time that I've read Spider-Man comics, so therefore he's ruined. And I'm like, that's my hot take when it comes to that is there are no ruined characters. You can always walk back anything in a Marvel comic. Like, everybody's like, oh, well, what about Hank Pym? Skrull.
Yeah.
Like, you can always retcon things. You can always fix it. With Spider-Man, the reality is, because Spider-Man hasn't had like other titles and he's been so inconsequential in all the Marvel events, because if Spider-Man is too big in a Marvel event, it becomes a Spider-Man event, and ergo Sony has access to it, which is why you might notice that Spider-Man isn't very influential in the Marvel universe anymore. But like, the reason why Spider-Man is so like is such a problem is because like he can't afford to be specific enough for you to find him interesting or not. Marvel's like, no, he needs to be as great as the people who love him think he is. So here he is. You're welcome. And if he's not enough, well, then how about this version? How about I make a Spider-Man for every single demographic? And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
And that's really, I guess, kind of part of the overall problem. Like, they're afraid. They just keep him as generic as humanly possible.
Because that's the thing. And what's odd about it is he's so generic, but his stories are so like odd, like recent stories. His much more modern stories are so oddly not relatable. Like, they're so all over the place because everyone is trying to do these weird, like, narrative gymnastics to create what appears to be change, growth, and intrigue, while also fitting the mandate, which is like the antithesis to stories, by the way. Everything can change but your protagonist. Like, the only ones who can go through growth and change are like Harry Potter can't change or grow, but everyone else can. Like, Harry Potter needs to be exactly as he is from the beginning to the end, which arguably he is. That's because J.K. Rowling's not a very good writer. But like, I would argue he does grow and change. Like, Harry becomes much less timid, much less weak.
Yeah.
He at first he's unsure of himself, then he becomes confident. Like that, even that very milquetoast concept of like growth is not welcome in current Spider-Man comics. And it's like, look, you want to see Spider-Man grow or do something interesting? I got like 19 Spider-Man characters. Do it to Miles. Give him a sword. Give him an energy sword. All right? Like, there. He'd be so specific it'll be completely unrecognizable if you saw the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's the thing, like, right? Like, why are we licensing these characters out to like movies and stuff like that if we're not trying to get as many people as aware of the character as possible to hopefully come back and buy the comic books? The problem is, of course, now I'm in the comic books and I'm reading this Cody Ziegler book and I'm like, what is this? He doesn't look, sound, act, or do any of the things that I saw in that Spider-Verse movie. And so it is with Peter. Ironically, every other iteration of Spider-Man in like every video game, movie, or cartoon series has Spider-Man being at least 30-something. And probably in a committed relationship. And almost certainly with Mary Jane. That the only people who seem to have a problem with Spider-Man being in a committed relationship with Mary Jane are the people who make the comic books.
Yes.
Which is bizarre. But again, like, so yeah, getting back to the main topic of, is Spider-Man broken as a character? Is Spider-Man beyond repair? I would argue no. I still say that he's not, because, we're made of meat and bone. Things change.
They do change. They do change. But there's like, unfortunately, as we know, there are just some things that can't roll back.
I think that, and that's my opinion. That's my hot take. You can always go back.
See, I don't know.
Unlike in All Dogs Go to Heaven, you can always go back.
All right. So I guess I have like a hot take.
Yeah, let's hear it.
As well. And it's like, it applies to Spider-Man, but it kind of applies to a lot of things.
Yeah.
So there's like two parts to this.
Okay.
I think every writer, not having to necessarily just do with comic books, but like anyone writing let's just say just Spider-Man thing right now.
Yeah,
I am thinking of more things though.
Sure.
has ruined the concept of a multiverse for me.
Oh, the multiverse is completely like
It is,
multiverse isn't dead because it refuses to die, but the multiverse has stopped being in any way interesting.
and that's what it is. My hot take is that like so much reliance on it has ruined the specialness of it.
Well,
and so like now it's like it for me creates an opportunity for lazy writing where you're just like, well, I want this thing to happen, and instead of trying to come up with a clever way of doing it, I'll just make it a multiversal character.
Cowboy Spider-Man. Like instead of putting Spider-Man in the Old West, I'll just make Cowboy Spider-Man.
Yeah, like instead of having to try, I'll just do this.
I'll just do the multiverse,
and it'll make us $1 billion.
Right. And it's like, no, it won't.
And that, like, well, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk this line of being like, I want people to see themselves in characters. I want them to see that representation. I also like, again, like I know I'm in a different situation than most people, but like my favorite characters are often male.
Right.
And it's not
and that's because pop culture has just been shoving them
in
your
sure
face.
It has, but I have options, but I'm just like, I like this character for who they are. Or I have like a reason I feel
for you, you're like, I don't need
like,
them to be your demographic. I
don't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think about it. But again, like that's me. And I know that's not how everyone feels.
Yeah.
And so like, I am not saying that you should feel the way I feel.
Absolutely
I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. So hopefully you understand where I'm like what I'm seeing, where I'm like, I am kind of over every superhero having a family.
Yes.
Like that. Like there has to be 1,000 versions of the same character.
There is.
What I don't want to see is a lack of representation.
No.
But I don't love that it's constantly just something where it's like a clone of something where I'm just like, that's cool. And I understand why you're doing it. But I also would love there to be just a cool version of like a new character.
Yes.
And I know it's really hard to make a new character. I completely understand that. It's like it's seemingly as difficult as it is to break into certain areas of like YouTube or social media just in general.
Yeah.
But it's like I would love to just see that impact of like
just
totally
the effort of making a new character
of like a completely like of whatever representation you want to see, but it's like this being like a new character that rolls up and it's just like so well written, such good stories that like that you had to take notice.
Yes.
And I hate the fact that like whenever I think of this, the one I think of is Static.
I'm just like literally the same character.
But that is like it's been too long.
Yes.
It's been too freaking long.
And what's frustrating is Static made an impact, but it was not like comparing apples and oranges. Static's success wasn't even close to Miles Morales.
Right.
When it came, and it's because Miles was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's just like not fair because even when Miles was at his peak of popularity, say that, you know, with whatever baggage it carries, you know, only a few short years later, he's a niche character.
I know. And I that like, we're not talking about this right now because we're talking about Spider-Man, but like, I just want to say like how much it really freaking bothers me that like, even now, like I am like I'm surprised when anyone over in DC puts Static into something.
I know,
and I shouldn't be.
They had it's twofold, right? On one hand, they couldn't use Static necessarily,
I know, but now,
on the other, it was like here's the reality, right? When Dwayne McDuffie, co-creator of Static, when Dwayne McDuffie was on Justice League, when Dwayne McDuffie wrote Justice League, not just the amazing cartoon that he also like spearheaded, but the comic book series. He wanted to add a couple of other characters.
Yeah.
He added Vixen to the team.
Yes.
And a couple other characters. And at some point, editorial told him to slow his roll because you add too many more of these black characters, you are no longer making Justice League. You are making a black book. And like that is another reason why you didn't see, and it's not because DC was inherently racist.
And you know
it's because like it was this perception that like if you make a thing like Meteor Man, this is a really old reference, but Meteor Man was a movie that I saw in theaters because it was about a superhero.
Sure. Right.
And I didn't notice anything else about it. The marketing. I just saw a Meteor Man ad in my comic book. I'm like, great, new superhero movie. There are so few of them. I'm going. And it's like that was not a movie that was marketed for me. I still had a great time. I still enjoyed it. I was also like, oh, I love all these characters. Look, James Earl Jones is a movie. You know, there's a great bunch of fun actors in that movie. But like, it's a movie about a very different experience in life than me, and was not marketed for me. But I didn't care And I say that works both ways, where it's like, why don't you find out if it skews as like a black book versus just a book people are reading that features some black characters. And Static's one of those characters where I'm like, I loved Static, and it was such a great book, and it was authentically black, and also had a great window into an experience that I only had a tangential reference to point to. And I am grateful for that experience. But at no point did I think that this book wasn't for me.
Sure. You're just reading a good book, for sure.
I was just reading a great comic.
Bringing it back around to spider characters.
But bringing it to spider characters.
So what ends up happening is that, like, obviously, what then is, like, they create all these new characters, and then they try to launch books for them, and maybe they don't sell. And maybe they don't sell because they're also going up against, either a Miles-driven book or a Peter-driven book.
Right.
Right? And you've got, like, maybe a couple of those at the same time. There's only so much money.
Yeah.
Right? So then that gets canceled, and then people feel bad about it. And I'm like...
Well, there's only so much audience.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is that there's only so many readers.
Yeah.
And they have only so much money to spend on those books. And so as a result, like, you have to cut. Now, you're running a business. I understand. You got to have a certain, like, bottom line. You got to have a certain, like, threshold to meet. And it's not like the old days where Nova can have, 60 issues, or Quasar can have like almost 60 issues or whatever, or have like 300 issues of really weird, boring Avengers comics.
Yep.
Like, where you can really get things going, that was a bad run, or that was not a great run, but there are a couple of gems, and this other run was amazing. We don't have time for that anymore. People don't have the audience. The audience doesn't have the patience for it anymore. And the company that makes them just don't have the heart to make that kind of a sacrifice anymore. I mean, just look at Moon Knight. And how many relaunches has that poor bastard gotten, despite the fact that it's basically just been the entire same run, And wouldn't it have been wonderful to have just had like Moon Knight 1 to Moon Knight whatever, or legacy numbering, Moon Knight 300 something to Moon Knight, 400 something, and go, man, remember that period in Moon Knight when he got replaced, or remember that period when, and just you can't have that anymore. But getting back to the spider thing of it all, I also agree that a spider family is, I would argue it's not only wasted, but it's antithetical to the character.
It is. You know what it was? Like, when Miles rolled up, that was nice, because it was like you gave Peter permission to grow up.
You gave Peter permission to die.
You gave him all the permission.
Because when he first shows up, it's like, Peter's dead, Miles is here.
Yes.
Great. And you know what? That's fantastic. It's got a whole universe.
Yep.
And that's also a universe with baggage. So Miles could have also had to deal with, because Miles is constantly up against Spider-Man. And I know that Ziegler would argue, like, you haven't read my run, you don't have any idea. Peter barely, if ever, shows up in my series. I agree. I hear you. Culturally speaking, people think they're partners. Like, there are more people who think that the status quo of Greg Weisman's book Spider-Man is the case than Peter and Miles don't even communicate with each other anymore. Like, that's just how the culture experiences.
And admittedly, like, a lot of them are coming from a video game in which they are, in which like Peter, or a movie in which Peter is again like a mentor. Like, Miles, like I said, Miles gives permission to Peter to grow up.
Absolutely.
And like, that's perfect.
Yep.
But then I listen again, like, I do want to see female representation, but the fact is, like, we had Spider Women.
Yeah, we've had 4.
But like, they're not like, they don't hang out with Peter Parker necessarily.
They are so, like, it's funny because the first one, Spider Woman, and Spider Woman was created to ape off of the popular Spider-Man.
Sure.
I make no mistake.
Yeah.
But Jessica Drew is also demonstrably unconnected.
Yeah.
And so was Julia Carpenter. And less so with Maddie, but like, and Aranya was the next best solution. I loved Aranya, and like, JMS, Creator Babylon 5, created this like this totem nonsense, which is another hot take somebody had, and I agree with them. I think it's awful. I'm willing to forgive it because we got some great stuff in there. But when it became apparent that like Peter was not gonna jive with it, it was like, oh, then give it to somebody else. Put it on Aranya. Put it on Kane.
Mhm.
You know, further divorce them from the main line so they can be their own thing.
Right.
You know, like one of the bravest Spider-Man adjacent books they ever made was the Scarlet Spider series starring Kane, where they were like, new cool suit, new town, new lease on life, new status quo, and also Kane will now be the other
Mhm.
that Peter didn't want to be. I'm like, okay, we're going somewhere with this. Cancel.
Yeah, well, and again, like, you know, it all kind of starts with the
Stegman
clones.
drew that book,
You
by
just-
the way. It
you're
was so
just-
good
you're just
looking.
adding like things that don't need to exist.
Love the clones. Yeah.
You know, it's just
but even in the beginning, even with the clone saga from the 90s, like people were hungry for an alternative to Spider-Man.
sure.
I mean, if you go back far enough, you can be like, look, people were hungry for big for Venom. People were like, whoa, it's Spider-Man, but he eats brains. That's awesome.
Yes.
Like,
I
finally,
understand.
I have an Image character that has Spider-Man's logo on it.
Yes.
But like, you know, I think that I remember being baffled in the 90s when Ben Reilly showed up, and I'm like, get this guy out of here. You're diminishing my main character. You're crowding up the space, and you didn't ask for this. You shouldn't even be here. You're a retcon.
Mhm.
And people being like, how dare you?
Mhm.
Like, how dare you? I love Ben. And I'm like, Ben is indistinguishable from Spider-Man outside of the fact that he has blonde hair and he has a weird supporting cast that is completely abandoned after like 6 issues.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You know, but I digress. So
Yeah.
like, you know, but like they couldn't help themselves. There's
And
always
that's-
another Spider.
And that's what it is. And I feel like that not only takes away because they're all of those new created Spider characters are fighting for attention.
Yeah.
But I think it also diminishes the relationship that Miles and Peter could have.
Yes.
In the main universe, and
100%.
should have.
What's weird in the most
You know,
recent...
Peter is a seeming. You know, if you had allowed him to grow up, you know, Peter could have had like a pseudo like Uncle Ben relationship with Miles,
Yes.
like just kind of like watching like life cycle around. Hopefully, he doesn't get shot by someone.
Right,
you know,
exactly. Well, he's
hopefully,
gonna, but like, you know,
you never know.
Yeah.
I just don't see a need for all of the other Spider characters. Like,
the worst...
you know, here's my like Marvel thing where I'm just like, okay, listen, I love reading Doctor Strange, and when Clea took over for Doctor Strange, fine, whatever, but she was not my Doctor Strange.
Well, and it
I'm
wasn't
not
like
looking for like a girl to be Doctor Strange, right? Like, if I want to read about a mystical female character, I'm going to read Elsa Bloodstone,
right?
Because I want to read Elsa Bloodstone
Or Ultimate Black Panther.
Sure, but like I don't need that there either. And I'm like, she's not my favorite. And she's barely in the book anyway.
Well,
like,
that's true.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's my take on things. That's like where I'm coming from, where I'm just like, I just want a cool version or like a cool new character.
Yes.
Or a
Or
cool character that exists that I'm like, oh, let me learn about them.
I would even go so far. I would even grant you, like, forget the cool new stuff. I just want a baseline that I can get behind.
Yeah, that's fine too.
You know, where it's just like, oh, I like this character.
Mm-hmm.
Can you consistently put out a good book starring that character? Marvel has repeatedly said no, which is like, you would stop eating sandwiches from a sandwich shop that consistently didn't give you the order you ordered.
Yeah, I agree. I do think too, though, like I just want to circle back to that Clea Doctor Strange thing, because it made sense for her that she took up the mantle. There are ways to do these things,
and also
instead of just tacking on, where like someone does retire, move on, and
they
then
didn't
someone
launch
else...
another Doctor Strange book,
right?
They Jed McKay'd it, where it was like, no, she took over the Doctor Strange book, but then he came back.
Yep.
You know, there's a teaser for another Doctor Strange who's going to be Sorcerer Supreme, and it's like Gambit is on that cover, and it's like, I didn't want to bring it up because of like because you're also not like, it's not in your DNA to get this upset about that kind of stuff. Yeah. But like for me, I'm upset for you, but I see it and I'm like, how about you just make a good Doctor Strange book for a change? Like, why don't you just try that first? Like, before you go like, oh, I don't understand why Doctor Strange doesn't sell 35,000 copies of an issue. It must be because it's Steve being not like being Sorcerer Supreme. It's
because we haven't changed it up. We gotta
switch it up.
I know that, and like again, that's not what the conversation is. We're doing hot takes about Spider-Man, but that really just has to do.
But it's emblematic of the larger issue.
Of an issue that Marvel has, where like they feel like the only way they can get numbers is by artificially creating them. Anyway, moving on.
Right. Well, it's a yeah. That's absolutely true. That's true. That's right. But yeah,
so those are my hot takes for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I haven't my opinions on Spider-Man. Like I have things in my brain that like Peter should be.
Mhm.
And so sometimes when you give me things to read or we've
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about them, like I'm surprised.
Right.
Because it's like in my head, like Peter is these things,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. No, and Peter's been many different things. It's funny. You read
Mhm.
like, the Tom DeFalco run versus like the DeMatteis run versus the Straczynski run versus like, even the Roger Stern run or Steve and Stan. Like Pete's different. He grows up. He goes in other directions. Sometimes he is like really strong, and sometimes he's really timid, and sometimes he's, you know, trying to grow, and other times he's trying to just keep what he's got. And it's like, that's life. That's people, especially if they're, artificially 29 for 70 years. But like, but at the same time, if you read enough, I like the idea that like when you read enough of Spider-Man or any character that has a long storied run, that like it's all contributory. That, like whatever you read, you add to the character,
Mhm.
and that it only helps to inform the character more. And it's been in the last 20 years or so where like Spider-Man has just been like they are no longer contributing.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
are everything that they've been putting on Spider-Man has been reductive, and altering the character or the world around him to make him like more relatable while making him the least relatable he's ever been, and only further confusing readers when if they inevitably get roped into the system and read the older books, which like this is conspiracy tinfoil hat time, where it's like, gee whiz, is the reason why a lot of these books out of print because you don't want people reading them?
Because you don't want to know.
Because you don't want them to know that like, A, there were better books back in the day, that B, you're really spinning your wheels nowadays, and C, like I don't want to add to the already annoying dirge of people who are screaming at me about how I'm doing it wrong. Now, I don't really believe that, but it's fun to speculate. But like, I don't know. It's just like Spider-Man is not a broken character. It's that his stewards don't see the forest for the trees, and they're motivated by more than the desire to tell a good story or the desire to foster good storytelling habits. Joe Kelly just happens to be a good storyteller and is gainfully employed enough to not have to put up with it.
Yeah.
Like Joe Kelly, as I understand it, has like a plan and is going for that plan. And Marvel is happy because what they learned during the Zeb Wells run is the book can be like a photocopied asshole for 32 pages, and it would still never dip under 100,000 units. Like, congratulations, collectors and readers. The book will sell whether it's dog shit or good. So who cares who's making it? We don't need to like get an exciting new writer. We don't need to get like the hottest new artist. We could just have anybody do it. And Joe Kelly is anybody, but also is good. So it's like, oh, it just also happens to be good. But it's not because of like the brilliance of the editorial team. It's not because of like a new regime at the publishing level who's got a great new idea on how to sell stories. It's just, oh, the sun shines on a dog's ass some days. A broken clock is right twice a day. Like, congratulations. You inadvertently hired a professional to do a job, like, as opposed to just letting anybody do it, or having a really, really entrenched editorial team just go like, I could be a writer. Like, I am genuinely shocked that Nick Lowe doesn't write the book now. Like, I am genuinely surprised that Nick Lowe hasn't just gone like, who should write Spider-Man? Just let me do it.
Yeah.
It's not like name recognition sells this book. It's Spider-Man, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Even though Batman outsells Spider-Man 10-1 every single time. And DC cares
Yeah.
enough to think about it.
They care. They care for sure. And that's very frustrating,
Yeah.
Especially when I guess what I want to hear more hot takes from you.
Oh, sure,
for
yeah.
sure. I definitely want to hear more hot takes.
Yeah, and I have less like doom and gloom conspiracy theories. It's more just like,
No, it frustrates me when I think about playing the games and I think about how sometimes I've seen better writing in there.
Yeah, that
like,
should be embarrassing. I mean, like, Joe Quesada, say what you will about him, but like the motivation, I've heard some weird things about this story, that the story might not actually be, it might be more apocryphal than it is accurate. But I've heard the story and it's been bandied about. It's been in Wizard magazine. Of course, you read that. It's a publication that's been like what, canceled, or it's been out of print for what, 30 years? No, 15. But when they were making the X-Men movie, Quesada's like, we got to tell Wolverine's origin. We got to do the Wolverine book.
Yeah.
And everyone who was there was like, we can't. That's part of the fun. That's the allure of Wolverine. And he's like, they're going to do it in the movies. And if anybody's going to do the Wolverine origin, it needs to be us. And I'm like, that's true. What a weirdly integral thing to say and think. Again, I've heard that this might not actually be true, or maybe it might be motivated by other things besides that. But like, in the purest of circumstances, wow, what a refreshing approach.
Right.
But like, Marvel's lunch is routinely consumed by anyone other than the comic books when it comes to Spider-Man storytelling.
I mean, yes. I mean, they
except for that Avengers game.
Well, I was thinking really just the Spider-Man games. I mean, in the first one, we have like a Peter and Mary Jane not together, but we watch Aunt May die.
Oh, will they get together?
No, we're just saying, like, but they do get there.
But like there's no other girl.
Right. And then they get back
they
together.
kill Aunt May.
Yeah, like they let it happen.
Yeah.
They let Peter grow.
Right.
They let him have to go through that. Like they put him in an interesting position. They're unafraid of doing it.
Oh yeah.
And then like, and I was just thinking, like, even side quests, like I was like, I had to remember who the character was because I couldn't remember, but I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah. Like I always remember. You remember the Howard side quest with the pigeons?
Yes.
Like, how do you let a video game do that?
Right.
When you can't tell, like when you refuse to tell a small story like that.
That being said,
issue of Spider-Man,
and occasionally, yes.
Now.
I mean, like it's so rare to get that in a Spider-Man comic book when it used to be commonplace. Like you could go through a back issues bin of Spectacular, Amazing, or to a lesser extent Web of, and like go through books made in the last, stopping at like 2006 and going back. Every other issue is going to have some emotional thing happen, whether it's to Molten Man or a random new character, Frogman or something. Like it's something sad or resonant will occur in that book because that's the place it happens. Because Peter is a super emotional character. He's also the most grounded out of like the pantheon we have here. Normal shit happens to these people. The readers care, about Robbie or Liz or, Aunt May or the boarders at Aunt May's house. Like it's one of the only superhero books where like a reader will be like, I'm really rooting for Aunt May's next marriage.
Right.
Or whatever, or that guy that's a werewolf that's dating Glory Grant, like just random stuff like that. I cite that moment there's a great episode of Back Issues where we did the costume saga where we get to Mary Jane's origins, and it was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You guys were like, oh, I thought MJ was just hot.
Yeah.
Like a wish fulfillment for Spider-Man fans, but no, like Mary Jane is like gone through it. An interesting story. And when we got through it, you're like, oh my God, do I like this character now? And it's like, yeah, not a web to be spun, and there were no multiversal characters or time sliding. There wasn't the scene where Peter from the future like arranges for Mary Jane and Gale to be in the same room. Like it's just a story about a girl who like acted up because she was so insecure that she became a party girl and won the hearts and minds of the people who read about her. Yep. In a Spider-Man comic book? When was the last time they tried something that bold? Oh, I think Carly Cooper was in a roller derby team. And by the way, like I do admire any attempt to do anything like that. But but it's like it's hard because it's like it's the least amount of detail. It's the least amount of effort. I'm like, just because like your deadbeat spouse mowed the lawn once doesn't mean that they're still a good provider.
Right.
Anyway, but like it's so
what other hot takes do you
have?
What
other hot takes do we got for Spider-Man? I mean, like we talked about the eye thing. I don't mind the moving eyes from the movies, but I caution against it. I was surprised that I was shocked that the comics didn't do it.
Right.
I'm amazed at their restraint that they didn't do that. That was but I liked the eye thing. I was okay with that.
Okay.
I'm also okay with it being over. Like now that Peter's like low tech, and had to just make a suit. I'm like, whatever's on the suit, on the mask, that's it.
That's it.
I in fact, I deeply believe there's a hot take for me is just like, no movie has ever gotten Spider-Man right by having him take his mask off during crucial periods throughout the movie, just because we got to show this actor's face.
Yes.
You've just like, no one is going because Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man. Like, they didn't go because they cast Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield was the best on-screen Spider-Man, but he could have worn that mask the whole damn time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not every villain needs to know that he's Peter. Like, the stakes could just be that the villain is going to kill him or kill someone he doesn't know. That's enough for me. It doesn't need to be the most like personally grounded stakes. That's always frustrating to me. Is that every interpretation of Spider-Man is like, they're going to kill MJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, or Peter is such deep guilt that any random person that dies, he will feel as bad as if Mary Jane died. So how about we test that? But no, that's too subtle. Yeah, subtlety's gone. Amazing Spider-Man should be a AAA selling book. It should always and never not have like the hottest artist.
Yeah, I mean that's not really a hot take. I think
it is, because Marvel seems to disagree.
Well, I don't know if the audience disagrees.
I don't know. I think the audience thinks that the book sells itself. I think the audience is also excited to see like different artists on it. Like I don't know how Giuseppe Camuncoli has work, but like he was on that book an unforgivably long time, and it was like, this is an ugly book. Why is it still happening? But yeah, no, like, and arguably, if it's not going to be like the best, then it needs to be an opportunity for a challenging new artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to keep the McFarlane thing going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, McFarlane, Larson, Bagley. You know, even Romita Jr. was adapting a new style when he was on Spider-Man. Anyway, you have any?
No.
Oh, but you mentioned one about the Spider Family.
Yeah.
There should never be a Spider Family.
Well, that's what I was hinting at that, but like again, like I think Miles is it.
Yeah, Miles is it. I'll take one further. Miles should go back. Like, it's time for him to go back.
It depends. It depends on like if you're gonna let Peter grow up. I don't mind Miles.
But they won't.
I know, but if they do,
but
then
if they don't, put him back.
If you let Miles stay young,
yeah.
You
well,
know,
they will, because it's not like there's a story about Miles being old outside of those weird ones like Spider-Man Reign 2. But yeah, no, I think Miles needs to go home. And not that, like, because if you're going to make Miles so divorced from the main Spider-Man title, then there's no point of him being in this main universe. He might as well be the hero of his world.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying with that. I guess in my head, because of like video games, that I'm like, but those two are like, they're buds.
Well, that's my problem with the video game. I don't like Spider-Man 2 because it feels very much like a replacement. And then it was. Pete's like, hey, you're Spider-Man now, and I'm going to be in the garage. And I'm like, oh, well, have fun. Because I'm not here for your journey. I'm here for Peter's journey. It's my Spider-Man.
Right.
When I say that, I mean, like, that's the Spider-Man I grew up with.
You got a whole game.
Oh!
And the Miles fans got like half a game.
They got 2 games. Well, they got they got one game. They got a half game with Miles Morales, and they got a half game with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and you got 1.5, basically 2.
That's true. I basically did. Yeah. Well, if they're not gonna make like 10 Spider-Man games, then just make Spider-Man 2 upgradable so that it just keeps getting like new missions and stuff.
There you go.
Because I would never stop playing that game if they put out new maps all the time.
And I hadn't moved the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that was also hard.
I should put that back for you.
But yeah, you know,
he's taking a break. He'll be back.
Oh yeah,
Pete.
He will, and then he'll die.
No, not. Oh my gosh.
He will. They're gonna kill him.
You don't know that.
I do, deeply.
No, you don't.
I live and breathe, Tiffany.
Okay.
Live and breathe.
Great. I'm glad you do.
but yeah, I mean, the rest of them aren't really hot takes. Like, I'm never like, oh my god, Spider-Man should be dead, or Mary Jane should die, or Black Cat's the true love for Peter.
No, I think maybe my like hotter take is that Spider-Man fans are
insane,
are a breed unto themselves.
Yeah,
not all of them, but that like,
oh yeah, no, yeah.
Until they can respect like each other,
yep,
and the character, it's gonna be really hard for Marvel to
fix it.
Yeah,
I'll go one a little further.
You don't have to.
Peter would be ashamed of the way most Spider-Man fans behave online.
Yes. Yes.
And So would Superman and Batman and other characters, by the way, Captain America especially. Punisher would hate most of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, that speaking of Punisher, Peter, there should always be an arc during a character's, not always.
Yeah.
I would like to see another story. There's this great, like,
Is this a hot take?
Is it? It was a ham-fisted run. It was a ham-fisted attempt.
Okay, I'm ready.
When Pete was on the New Avengers, he's like, now that I'm on the Avengers, let's take down Punisher. He needs to be stopped. And I couldn't do it alone, but now I've got Captain America, so let's go. And Iron Man was like, I don't know about that. And Cap's like, no, Peter's right. And I was like, that's awesome. And then it didn't really go over. You know, it was like, oh, okay. But I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love, when I was growing up, I remember there almost like always being, every couple of years, a story where Pete and Punisher teamed up. But the team up was Pete being like, you got to go to jail. And I love the idea that Peter has a real problem with Punisher.
Yeah. I do too.
That's something I'd like to see.
I agree. And
Punisher's going to be in a Spider-Man movie with the Hulk. So let's see how that goes. You know?
I have like, and it's not really a hot take because I think most of our chat agrees it to some degree.
Yeah.
You know, like unmaking or, you know, taking away the marriage. I think it could have actually worked out really well to have done that. Had like an actual plan.
Yeah.
And then put it back.
Oh yeah.
Like I thought long and hard about that, where I was just like, they could have stayed married, obviously, but I think actually doing that could have afforded them like some very interesting storytelling leading up to them coming back.
Undoing it.
Yeah.
There were ways to do One More Day that weren't what they did. That wouldn't have had the kind of reaction they got.
Yes.
But it's just lack of planning.
All right, what are your hot takes? Come on. What are the rest of them that aren't super hot?
I don't know. I think that's kind of it. I mean, the movies should be like James Bond, where he has a new girlfriend in all of them. If you're going to make Peter young, each movie should have had a different girlfriend. Peter has enough loves where it could have been really cool, and it would have made Mary Jane more impactful, or MJ. Like it for her to show up and just. Because, with the first one, it was like Liz. It was like, that's fun.
Yeah.
There's no chemistry here, but of course there isn't. So that works for me.
Yeah.
Then the next one, somebody else.
Yeah.
Whoever. But then you throw a monkey wrench into it. Maybe things are working. And then you throw Mary Jane in there. And you make it, oh no. That's fun. I like that a lot. I wish there were any that did that. They're never going to do that. Spider-Man is not a solo superhero, and I hate universes where he's all by himself. And he should always.
But you're not talking about a Spider Family.
No. I mean, I want like the way every single big scale Marvel event, like every single Marvel event should have Spider-Man in it, in some way. He doesn't have to play a crucial role at all, and in fact, he doesn't. But like when they do the big shot, the 2-page splash of all the heroes, Spider-Man should be in the back. Like in the back. Like he got there late. That should be the way it goes. And then once in a while, like he takes over, like in a Maximum Carnage or something, where they're like, oh my God, the guy who's always late and leaves early is actually really, really good at what he does. Who'd have thought? Now let's discount him because he's not an Avenger.
Yeah.
And again, that Spider Family, like, now there's a little corner of Spider people over there. Captain America like calls roll and he's like, Thanos is back. We got to get everybody on board. It's going to be like Bailey and Gwen and Kane and Peter and like Miles and everybody. And they're all going to be over here being like, what can we do? I've got a multiversal wristwatch that can have me go back in time, or we could get an alternate reality Captain Universe version of me, or, whatever. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
No, thank you. Keep your spider shit to yourself. I think every writer on Spider-Man has had a good story. Like even
That's
Zeb,
a hot take.
right? Even Zeb Wells has told a decent Spider-Man story once,
Really?
or had a good issue.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, when it comes to the main book or the main books,
Mhm.
Spider-Man Web of spectacular, but not like Spider-Man black, white, and red all over or anything. I'm not talking about like random crap. Oh, and Venom should be a villain. Venom has never been as fun or interesting, except when he was fighting Spider-Man.
Is he fully a hero now?
I don't know. Who gives a crap?
I mean, like
he's been rolled, but Venom is Carnage right now.
Yeah. Okay. What?
Like Eddie has the Carnage symbiote.
Oh, okay.
Mary Jane is Venom.
Right. I forgot about Mary Jane being Venom. Yes.
That was never do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Apparently, that's a hot take. Don't ever do that. Oh, and there should always be like, as a hot take, don't like. There are some characters you shouldn't turn into other things. Like the Spider-Man supporting cast should be arguably untouchable. Like what makes them fun and interesting is that they're people, not that they're symbiotes or goblins.
Mhm.
Like, don't turn Robbie into a thing. Don't turn Aunt May into a thing.
I get that.
Don't turn Ashley Kafka into a goblin.
I think turn Aunt May into a corpse.
Yes, turn Aunt May back into a corpse. She's been dead twice now. But yeah,
listen, I love Aunt May, but like
me too. And
there's not much for them to do at this point.
They're out of. They've proven that they don't know what to do.
Wild to me that DC killed Alfred before Marvel took out Aunt May.
I'll go so far as to say it's wild to me that that more people argue that Alfred should stay dead than Aunt May should be dead. Like people are like, no, Batman's never been more interesting now that Alfred is dead. I'm like, you're so full of it. But Aunt May, they haven't done anything with Aunt May at all. The one idea they had was give her a homeless shelter.
Right.
And they put it in the movies, the video games, and the comic books.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. They don't know. They killed her in the movie. They gave her the damn character arc. They don't know what to do with that character. And again, it's like the problem where they're like, I don't know. We can't do anything.
There should be a mandate that you can't introduce a new character into Spider-Man for the next year.
Yeah. Yeah, like a
for
brand
the next
new day
year,
kind
you
of thing.
can't put any more characters in.
Yeah. You have to work with what you have.
Just play with what's here right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got.
Yeah. I would go so far as to make a list and be like, you can only use these characters.
Do something fun.
You have to do something fun with these characters, and you also can't transform them into anything.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me a story. Just tell me a story featuring these characters. People it's like that monologue from like Adaptation or whatever, where it's like people fall in love all the time. People betray another person for like the person that they were sleeping with. People murder each other every day. Like the world outside your window. He's interesting because he has spider powers. Everybody else is just trying to live their life with this really destructive guy with spider powers.
And that can be enough. That can be interesting.
That's all there is. That's all you need. Like, remember when it was like a plot point that a guy who owned a newspaper publisher had a real problem with Spider-Man for virtually no reason whatsoever? And he was one of the greatest villains of Spider-Man's entire history. Now he's like a broken podcaster. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, this is just a little conversation about Spider-Man. I would love to do this again with Batman or Green Lantern or something. So let us know in the comments down below. What's your superhero hot take topic you'd like to see us do again? We don't do this all the time. We're not going to do this all the time, but I'd like to bomb in every once in a while. Just kind of do like a topic.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think that's a great idea. And also, what's your spider hot take?
What's your Spider-Man hot take? Let us know in the comments down below. I'd love to see a whole.
And be nice to each other.
Yes, and be cool. Don't diminish other people's ideas. Just share yours in a respectful manner.
I keep getting lipstick on my microphone.
Well, it is leaning.
It's like, I know it is, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's leaning. Just tilt it back a little more. Yeah, you
go ahead.
Well, anyway, what's your book of the week?
Oh, crap.
Fantastic Four Gargoyles.
Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah. Congratulations, Dynamite.
Although New Gods
is always
exceptional.
Yeah.
Oh, it's trapped. I can't. There we go. There we go. We're good.
Well, we have some super chats to get to, and then we'll recommend comics that are coming out this week.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think you should check out?
Completely going to happen. I think I did not fix this all at the same time.
Great.
It's so good.
Yeah.
What I've done here.
Yes.
Everybody watch out. Okay.
It should begin with all right, cool.
It's just
It's just backwards. That's
Yeah.
fine. All right, we'll go with Arduit here. CPOP Woo, good week for books, despite not really jiving with their Batman last week. I started Super Gods by Morrison, and it's really good. Well, it's Morrison.
Very nice.
By the way, Morrison did a Reddit AMA recently.
What?
I know. It was very interesting. Very, very insightful.
Okay. Andre Brown says, hope you both had an absolutely fantastic week. This upcoming week, my pre-orders are stacked. Tiff, we'll be playing Dispatch on ComicPop Blaze. Thanks again for what you two do. I actually had the demo of this, and I haven't had a chance to try it out. The idea is like you're essentially like a dispatcher for superheroes.
Oh!
So you're trying to send people where they need to go
That's fun.
to help others.
Yeah.
So that's neat.
Cool. Jason Bragg, thanks for your super chat. We do appreciate it. And Arduit returns to say...
This one.
Also, finally caught up this week on Something's Killing the Children. While I love the story, I feel like Tynan has been slow walking the dog for a while. Hope to pick it up.
Hope it picks up.
Hope it picks up. Yes.
I get that. I know. I feel like Tynan's really tight when he has a end.
Yeah.
Like when he's got like a limited amount of issues, and it could just be that like over a long period of time, he's just kind of losing his way a little bit.
Yeah. Lastly, New Gods is continuing to nail it. Ramvi is telling a really interesting story, and Kegel is just killing the art, especially for Black Racer.
Yeah, I agree.
Ramvi says he's working with Kegel on a secret project coming up.
Ooh, love that. Kegel is great. I like the two of them working together. He really actually makes Black Racer look cool.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is
sometimes it looks cool. It depends on the armor. I think you're talking about like the classic Kirby look where it has skis.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that actually looks neat, though.
Yeah.
Jason Bragg back to say.
No, Jaren Bragg.
Oh, Jaren. Thank you. Jaren Bragg says, it was amazing seeing you all at New York Comic Con. Wishing you all a happy Halloween. Oh, happy Halloween to you, too.
To you, too, man.
Sorry, I got your name wrong.
Lobstar says, I've never been a fan of normal clothes over superhero suits. That's why I hate the Scarlet Spider suit and prefer it in its second version. How about you? Yeah, I never liked Scarlet Spider suit, but I might have been skewed by Wizard just talking about how lame and stupid he looked. I'll never forget one of his criticisms. He had ankle pouches in that suit, and they were like, what does he keep in the ankle pouches? His fruit roll-ups? And I thought that was a hilarious criticism. I don't know why it was like such a weird thing for them to say. But yeah, I mean, the sensational Spider-Man suit, the suit that Ben Reilly wears when he becomes Spider-Man, I mean, it's great. I like it. I think it's a little complicated.
I don't know what it looks like.
I'll pull it up for you.
Okay.
But like I like it. And I appreciate like people loving it. Okay. I understand.
Okay. Thrown Identity saying can't stay, but 100% love ComicPop. Woo!
We love you too, man. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lobstar returns. How do you feel about Cyclops solo series he's getting in 2026? I, for one, am excited for Scott to get more love. You guys going to read it? Probably not. I'm not reading anything X-Men right now. And I don't like Brevoort's decisions with Scott, so I doubt I'll want to see what is motivated to be about Cyclops now. We'll see.
I've definitely fallen off the X bandwagon for right now. But I am excited for folks who have characters who are getting like standalone series because I think that's really great.
I agree.
For you, honestly. I don't know why I continued that. It was perfect the way I said it before. TBG Hydrogen. Hydrogen.
Yeah, Hydrogen.
Question for Tiff. Got my girlfriend into comics with Death of Doctor Strange, and she loves Strange X Clea. Do you have any recommendations for that kind of story? Well, listen, they've had a long and storied history, so you can go way back to like in the 80s for sure. But if you want something a little more current right now, it's not super long, but I feel like it has a similar vibe. You can look up the Doctor Strange 2016 annual #1. It's them after they had like broken up.
Yes.
And like it has a similar, I don't know, feeling where like you can tell that these are two people who still respect each other and probably still have feelings for one another. Just like
they weren't
just talking.
Exactly.
You know, I would definitely get that if you want to just be like, here, what do you think of it from another writer's perspective? And then again, you can go back, check out some of the stuff from the like 70s and the 80s, but that might be such a jarring switch up.
Yeah, especially if you're used to like modern storytelling.
Yeah, where she has a lot more agency and such. So start with the annual 2016. go back
Yeah.
from there.
This is the sensational Spider-Man suit. This is what Ben Reilly wore when he became Spider-Man officially.
Oh, does the red on the side of his calf run all the way up his legs?
Nope, just the calf.
That's weird.
Isn't it? It's an implied boot.
That's not an implied boot.
Well, because he normally has the boot there. My hot take about the sensational Spider-Man suit is that it normalized the web shooters being on the outside, which I hated. And I never want to see.
I don't know how I feel about this suit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, guys.
It went through a lot of iterations. There was a book they published that
know,
put all those out. But yeah, I appreciate it.
You appreciate
but I
it.
don't love the web shooters on the outside. All it made me think of was the 70s suit from the show.
Okay. Whoops. I made everything go away on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's completely fine. There.
All right. This is from Brand Foley. Says, thank you guys for all the awesome content you've provided through just sheer conversation about comic books. ComicPop has been a perpetual sound machine throughout the last 5 years of my life, and I really appreciate it. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Sweet. I really love that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I really, really love that. Hulkzilla saying, need to see Doctor Strange or Enchantress or any magic user. Hell, even Dr. Druid put Reed in his place in regards to how he solved magic. Please be Druid. That would be so amazing.
That's not you.
Also, just being like, oh, Dr. Druid. It's like if Dr. Druid's the one coming to educate you about
then
something, you messed up.
Yeah.
You messed up.
You failed.
You failed hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Bear Farmer says, something I learned from back issue, Stormbreaker has the same enchantment as Mjolnir. These movies don't follow the canon. That's true that it does not. Yeah, I remember Odin creating it for him. Yeah. From the Ballad of Beta Ray Bill.
I don't know why every time I open this up, it goes away. I'm like, there, I can totally do this. It's fine. I cannot.
Yeah.
Christian Gatica says, hot take. I have seen no reason to read Amazing Spider-Man after the Dan Slott run of the early 2010s.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, honestly, you're
like nothing has pulled me back in quite like that since then.
That's fair. Yeah, they really screwed that up. Hulkzilla, I'd pitch a fusion of organic and tech. Peter can produce organic webbing, but it just has basic uses. The web shooters allow for a diverse functionality. They plug into him or something? Yikes.
Yeah, I like the web shooters.
Yeah, I like that.
I also like, I don't know. I like the panic of that. Like,
that he might run out.
But he could make it.
Right. Yeah, that he
as
makes
opposed to having to wait.
Exactly. That he has to eat starchy foods. No, thank you. Denial hot take 616 Peter is the most boring Marvel hero to date because of his inability to act his age or have the established profession. Yeah, I mean I think it's more boring because that nothing can happen to him, and so as a result you are anticipating that nothing will happen.
Fair. Big Busta says, I disagree with the Raimi films being the most comic accurate superhero films. I think that title belongs to Superman 2025.
Yeah, it was a pretty comic accurate movie. Although, the L's notwithstanding. Yeah, that's fair. Red Ghost 312, hot take. I'd like to see Spidey use PIM particles. I would also like to see that. Honestly, I think that'd be kind of fun.
I'm not really necessarily a fan of this movie, but wouldn't maybe one of the most comic accurate superhero films be Tank Girl?
Yes. Kind of. Yeah.
I don't really know.
Unfortunately, yes.
I only really am aware of it because of you.
Yeah, because I've seen Tank Girl like 10 times. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's not very accurate. I mean, it catches the spirit. All the animated bits are, but the movie,
okay, maybe not so much.
Yeah, maybe. Giovanni Mano says Spider-Man should be a writer as a grown.
Should be written as a grown man, and grown men move on from their trauma. Spider-Man should genuinely go to therapy.
Yeah, but he's not going to do that because then he'd have to grow and change. Tea Time 480 says,
"Oh my God, what the hell just happened?" That's not what they said. Isn't it?
Super hot take. I don't like Miles. I don't find him interesting. I think he's less iconic and more redundant. And I pretty much feel the same way about every Spider-Man that isn't named Peter Parker. I won't go that far, but I will say that I find that every subsequent Spider character that enters a Spider-Man book or hangs out with Peter or becomes a Spider-Verse does diminish the character and reduces him. Mm-hmm. I like the idea that Miles is like a Batman Beyond character. Like Terry doesn't diminish Batman. He's his replacement. Bear Farmer.
So we got a couple here.
Okay.
And I've pre-read this, so I'm prepared.
Great. So
I'm prepared.
Kill it.
I wish you hadn't said that.
All right, crush it.
Thank you. I had to put my childhood dog
I'm
down
sorry.
this Monday. I've had her since I was 13. I'm now 27.
Oh.
We were often referred to as the dog and her boy.
Oh.
We went on all sorts of adventures together when I was a kid. She would come when I called Appa Yip Yip. She was an amazing dog, and from the day she saw me, she got super excited as if to say, "You're my boy." So reading Krypto this week was such a perfect moment for me. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It really reminded me of Molly and me.
Oh.
Yeah, I read that earlier, and then, like, I was just struck by your love for
Yeah.
Molly, and I hope you know that, like, you were everything for Molly. Like,
That's
I
right.
don't know you two,
No.
but I can tell you right now, like, your pets, like, you're their world.
That's right.
And just the way you speak of her, like, with this much love, I can tell that, like, she was loved, and, like, that meant everything to her. And while it hurts you now, just know that you gave her, like, so much joy.
Yeah.
And so much love.
Yeah.
You know, and that was worth it.
That's right.
I'm getting myself upset.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Molly was great.
myself
Yeah.
upset.
We know that Molly was loved.
Yes.
And she knew it too.
Yes.
We're really sorry about that. Hulkzilla, I believe, says, I also like the spider totem. It's entirely separate for Peter's origins. Spider God just thinks, oh, coincidentally, there is a spider person who is using his powers to help people. I choose him. Yeah.
That's just the spider god being lazy. Doesn't want to do the work.
I agree.
He's just like, you meet me halfway.
Oh, great.
I don't have to try so hard.
Good. I'll tell the ant guy.
I'm editorial.
Yeah. Boring.
Drew Pittman says, hot take, Spidey will not come back with Mary Jane while Sony still has the rights.
I don't know. I think that
that's actually an interesting theory, that, like, if they put them back together, that then Sony would just take any stories that they do.
Well, that's very true. That is very true, that, like, Spider-Man is more, I've heard the theory that Spider-Man has essentially been a character in a holding pattern because Marvel refuses to do anything with the character that it might influence the Sony movies. And I'll go so far as to remind folks that, like, apparently, because Mark Ruffalo was just asked about this recently, they were like, when are you going to do a Hulk movie? And he's like, it's Universal. Turns out it's not. Turns out it's Disney. That Disney has the rights for everything Hulk, but Universal has right of first distribution refusal. So if Disney were to decide to make a Hulk movie, they have to offer distribution to Universal to distribute the movie. Now, Universal could say no, or Disney could offer them a counter to not distribute it, or they could let Universal distribute it and get all the money from the release and the marketing and the merchandising. So it's all Disney. Disney has just flat out been like, we're not going to make a Hulk movie unless we can own all of it. And we make movies and we distribute movies. So if we give Universal the opportunity to refuse, then that's basically conceding weakness, as opposed to Sony, where they own the character wholesale. There's nothing we can do. We have to ask permission for everything we do when it comes to this thing. And we don't really need Hulk. Yeah. So, like, no. I believe wholeheartedly that Marvel is deliberately kneecapping themselves because they want to keep Sony from making $1 more off of them, which is outrageous because the things they are making are objectively bad. Tea Time 480.
Saying using poor characterization as a way to label Peter a terrible person is ridiculous. When he's a fictional character and he's being poorly written at times doesn't mean he sucks as a character.
I agree. I would also want to remind folks that, like, it's not fair to blame Mary Jane for things that are being done to her or for her by editorial. It doesn't mean that Mary Jane is a bad person. She's not a real person. Hulkzilla also, just on aesthetic alone, Scorpion should have been a bigger rival to Spider-Man than the main three. Design-wise, post-Ditko, no disrespect. I agree. I love the look of Scorpion, and I think that he should have been a more interesting threat. The problem is he's never been an interesting character. Like, I don't care about Matt Gargan, so I've never rooted for him as a character.
Drew Pittman came back to clarify and said, and by not being with Mary Jane, I mean character growth.
Right, I agree. Yeah, no, you're right. Heartless Fang, as much as I love Peter and MJ, they need to either commit to putting them together or put MJ back on the shelf for a while. The more they mess with her, the worse it gets. I agree. Yeah, they can't resist.
They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, and
they're bad at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they keep forgetting to put all the ingredients in.
Exactly.
Jim Cal X says you could fix Paul as a character. It would take some time, like undoing one more a day after he discovers he was always a pawn to preserve Mephisto's machinations, though.
That'd be fine. Yeah, I mean, like Paul can always be a character. Paul should have been Venom, arguably, but like
He is Mephisto,
right?
but
Paul
he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Or like he doesn't like he's just a piece of him.
Exactly. Or Paul is Peter from the future.
You pitched that.
Yeah, he's Lars from
Yes.
from the Futurama. Tea Time 480. ATSV. Across the Spider-Verse fundamentally misunderstands the character for the sake of a crappy commentary on some comic book fans' obsession with canon. Canon events, anchor beings, multiverse are essentially, those three are like traffic spikes to the momentum of superhero movies.
Agreed. Hulkzilla says also, last hot take, Peter giving into the other to save MJ from Orlando was a great scene.
Yes.
Love seeing heroes go temporarily feral like Man Spider.
I don't, but I agree that it was earned. George McKay, hot take, we're not getting good Spider-Man while film rights are with Sony. That's a popular hot take. I don't think it's that hot either.
I had never thought of it, so to me that is a hot take.
That's fair. Yeah.
Hayden Hamilton says Spider-Man should age to his next stage of life, late 30s, struggling with getting meds from pharmacy, weight, memory, stiffness, and permanent injury, limp, would work for Peter B. Parker and Life Story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I agree. I as it turns out, I don't want to see Indiana Jones at 90. I don't want Spider-Man to be 45, but I also think that there is a middle ground there.
Yeah, I agree.
Hulkzilla returns. Fun fact: Spider-Man was late during the final fight between Godzilla and the Avengers in the 70s run. He took photos of Godzilla going back to sea. That's fun. I didn't know that.
Peace out, my man.
I'll check that out.
Want peace out?
Yeah, you peace out too, man. But no, yeah, I'm gonna head out.
Tea Time 480 says, I also think Miles should go back, and I don't think he's necessary at all for Peter to grow up.
No, Miles has proven that he doesn't need Peter, that he's not really essential to Peter's story.
Yeah, but I think they're also saying that like Miles doesn't need to give permission to Peter to grow up, but it's bizarre to me that he does, and they won't let it happen.
I agree. Can says, don't know if it's a hot take, but I don't enjoy it when he's overly nice and cracks bad/corny jokes on purpose. Pete is always at his best when he has some edge. I think so too. I think that they've misunderstood what Peter's wit is about. Peter is sarcastic. He's not a dad joke.
Matt Fisher says, fell off New Gods and never got back on, but Power Fantasy is awesome. I can't agree with that more. If you haven't had a chance to check out Power Fantasy, you should. It's a book by Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard. It's spectacular. It talks about the superhero genre. And if you liked books like, I don't know, like some of the stuff that Dennis Camp is doing, plus like Watchmen, you're probably going to love this book.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know the characters, trust me, none of us do, but you can relate to them almost immediately. Saying thanks for the Reco B-Walk. You're welcome. As for Sal, I might recommend a watch of Jason Takes Manhattan this Halloween.
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt it. I know how bad that movie is. Denial, I would love to hear your hot takes regarding the cosmic side of Marvel and DC universes. Interesting. Yeah, you probably don't.
Max says, I'd love to see the MCU to intro Kitty Pryde in the new Spider-Man movie, or as his love interest, a mutant intro, and completing him and MJ would be more fun.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be fun.
Would be fun.
I'd be very okay with that. Subaru Saito Abduali says, hi, I'm from Perth. What young artist would you want to take over Amazing Spider-Man? I think with the right story, Capuccio would be amazing. ComicPop Woo to you too as well. Thank you. That's a great question. Young artist. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of great artists out there. I don't know about young. You know, like I don't know about like young, hot, like, you know, hungry artists.
I agree with Capuccio. I think it could be good.
Yeah,
very different.
Capuccio,
very different.
You have a really interesting theme. I think you need. Here's a hot take: bring back all the other Spider titles. Like I think Spider-Man could be what people want if you bring back Spectacular And like if you split up Spider-Man, Amazing, Web of, Spider, like Spectacular, Unlimited or something, and give a lot of different voices to the same character, and allow other artists to take a crack at it. Because I'd like to see a Greg Smallwood Spider-Man book. I'd like to see a Chris Samnee Spider-Man series, stuff like that.
Okay. George McKay says, thanks for covering Child with Anne. It was my first full Spider-Man event, and it set the bar maybe too high.
That's fair. Yeah. DeMatteis does that. Link, hey guys, been watching for a while. Huh?
Said whoop.
Oh, whoop. Oh yeah, Link. I've been watching for a while, and since I'm about to pick up all 12 of Tom King's Vision run, I wanted your opinions on it. I think it's a fantastic comic book. It's a great read, beautiful art from great Gabriel Hernandez Walta. It's a great issue. It's a great series. It's definitely worth reading and buying.
Matt Fisher says, I'm loving the Superior Spider Goblin.
Yeah, he's Norman's doing an interesting thing. I don't hate it, so I'm reading it.
Okay.
Hey,
That's
Hamilton.
the best you can get from Sal.
Hot take: Gordon Jr. should be Nightwing's Joker or Nemesis. Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
That's a fun theory. I like that. I like that pitch.
Marius Patrick says, I still remember when Garfield's Spider-Man was released. Kids my age thought the mechanical webs were dumb because they grew up with organic webs.
I know they did.
They're dumb. No, I'm kidding.
They're dumb.
No.
they just didn't know.
They didn't know. They didn't know.
They didn't know any better.
It was new.
Tea Time 480. Garfield got Spider-Man more than Tom and Toby, and him not getting a great solo movie is a shame. I agree. Further hot take. I think in the context now that we have, I love Tom. I think he's doing a great job. I wish they just ported Garfield to the MCU.
Yeah, for sure. Matt Fisher back to say, hot take. These takes have been hot.
That's fair. And finally, a secret boss hot take. Marvel owns X-Men IP, but current series is mediocre.
Ooh.
I don't think that's very hot. I think that's a pretty lukewarm take, my friend. I don't think you're alone in the world. But we want to thank so much for hanging out with us. But before we go, we got some recommendations to jump into, folks.
You almost did it.
No. I was just saying thank you to the Super Chats for sponsoring today's show.
Oh, no. You said thanks for hanging out with us.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. You just gave them permission to go.
Well, don't
leave.
We're not done.
Don't go.
So the first recommendation, obviously, is Ultimate Spider-Man 22.
Also, thank you, everybody, for the blessings.
Yes. Bless you.
Oh, you're done?
You have the next book.
Oh, I thought you were going to redo it because I talked over you.
Ultimate Spider-Man 22.
Yay. Absolute Wonder Woman number 13.
Yes. Detective Comics 1112 or 1102. I got to check this out. Superman 31. This is a great series. If you're not reading it, you should be. It's gorgeous. And I have fallen completely off of Just League Unlimited. I'm sorry, folks. Let's see here. Ninja Turtles 12 is coming out. That's the end of the Jason Aaron, Juan Ferreira run.
I hear this is like, based on that panel, this is going to be a crazy issue.
It will be crazy. You will not believe it. There's a last page reveal that you will want to be there for. Read this book if you love Turtles and if you've been reading this run. If you've been like, I heard it's ending. I don't know if no. Pick up this issue, Turtles 12. Read it. It's amazing. But
it also is going to set up for a huge
setup for Gene Luen Yang's run with Freddie E. Williams II.
Yes.
Read Turtles. Check that out. Let's see. New History of the DC Universe number 4. We're going to find out if Watchmen's in the DC Universe. I have no idea. Immortal Legend Batman number 3 is dropping.
Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu number 13.
Oh, coming to the end.
Heck yeah.
Predator Kills Marvel Universe number 3. Check out that cover. Radioactive Spider-Man doesn't come out yet. It comes out this week. We'll see. Joe Kelly's writing it, so maybe.
There you go.
Skinbreaker number 2 is out. If you didn't check out my conversation with both Robert Kirkman and David Finch on this channel, you should. It's a real good setup for you to understand exactly what's going on with this Image book that took almost 10 years to make. David Finch's work on this is the defining art of his career. You won't believe.
I'm sorry, I scrolled up or scrolled down. It's Jeff the Land Shark. Sorry, not it's Jeff. Jeff the Land Shark number 5. Well, they're different.
Yes.
It's Jeff is a bunch of little comics. Jeff the Land Shark number 5 is grabbing that along with Green Lantern Dark number 7.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just tape rumble, killing it.
Predator Black, White, and Blood number 4 is coming out. This is a great series. It's a lot of fun, really good stuff. There's a fantastic Joe Kelly story in there that I think will conclude in this issue. So we'll see. And that's that.
Oh, I completely forgot to get The Witcher, The Bear, and the Butterfly. I'm gonna have to just grab that when it comes out in trade. I feel terrible about that. I was like, I enjoyed that first one, and then I just forgot.
Yeah.
Oops. I hate when I do that.
Yeah.
I do. I hate when I'm like, yeah, and then like I just like, nope, didn't remember. That's why pull lists are helpful. Though.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And I don't do
that. Yes, make sure, folks, to pre-order your comic books if you want to see them continue, and if you have a local comic book store that actually you can reach or is happy enough to ship your books to you. But yeah.
Did you see this last Wolverine that looks like it's a Wendigo?
It is a Wendigo. It's from Saladin Ahmed, and it's the continuation of the Wolverine series that he was working on. It's intrinsically connected with Wendigos. No thanks.
Got to get them Wendigos.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Got to get them Wendigos working.
Yeah, that suggests that Wolverine ate a person. No, thank you. But yeah, so before we go, we want to thank our super chatters for sponsoring today's show. But especially if you want to check out Tiffany playing video games, you should do so on youtube.com at ComicPop Plays or twitch.tv/ComicPop. In fact, there is a full-blown epic episode of you playing Phasmophobia or whatever, Phasmagoria. I don't know.
Phasmophobia.
There we go. The wonderful and Wonder Emporium of Phasmagorium over on Dorkly, channel with 3 million subscribers. You were playing with who was it again?
Justin.
That's right. You and Justin were playing Phasmophobia.
We tried to get
Mike in there, but Mike needs to get a computer that was made over later than 2003.
Didn't work.
But yes, that was a lot of fun. Great streams over on Dorkly.
I feel bad. I was just like, we have to go do this.
We have to play this game now.
No, we have to go over here now.
Yeah, you were really guiding him.
I didn't mean
him the
to.
Ropes. But
he did get ghosted on. So
you did.
All that matters.
That's right. But you also play video games on those channels, youtube.com at ComicPop Plays and twitch.tv/ComicPop. It's just the same stream, but simultaneously streamed. But you won't be available on Wednesday, unfortunately.
No, I will not.
Because you're going to be recording the Halloween episode of Back Issues.
Yes.
Which if you're on patreon.com/ComicPop, you saw some pictures of the set already.
Wow.
Which I had mood lighting set up as well. We also want to thank Bear Farmer for his super chat, which asked, Tiff, when Megabonk?
Yeah, that's the like Risk of Rain meets Vampire Survivors. It's only single player. I do want to check it out, but I do love playing Vampire Survivors with friends.
Yes.
But I will check that out. People also want me to play Dispatch. We were playing Ghost of Yotei, but I feel like maybe that's just a game I'm going to play on my own. I feel like folks are looking for maybe something else right now. I can't tell. It's kind of feeling like that.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's okay because
I'm fine with pivoting.
You want to play that game anyway, so it's great.
I do.
But
don't be that excited for the Halloween episode. We're not going all out for costumes this year.
We're doing something fun. We're trying something different.
But it's not my normal thing where it's like I put together the whole thing. It's actually like it's good. It'll be comfy and cozy.
Yes, it's gonna be a fun, cozy, spooky day. But check that out when it comes out next week. As for this week, we got a fun Batman episode.
Heck yeah.
But we'll see you guys next time with another episode here on ComicPop Returns. Of course, if you like this video, make sure to show us by clicking that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications so you when we go live, which is always on Monday nights around 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on this show. But of course, we'll be back next week with even more comic book reviews. And if you want more, subscribe so you see more. Tomorrow, dropping my Tristan Jones interview from New York Comic Con. And if you haven't already seen it, we did a little short. I put out a little walking tour.
You did.
From Baltimore Comic Con in 2023.
Yeah, just to kind of see what that was like.
Just wanted to see how that would go. Not great, but you know what? Better than normal. So I thought, well, I'm going to try and capture all of them. I got a lot of old footage from like different cons. I got San Diego Comic Con 2023, 2024, and 2025. I want to make little 1 minute long walking videos of those. There's a whole Animation Domination Hulu POV episode that Tiffany shot that we never did anything with. It's frustrating that I'm that lazy and didn't touch it, but I hope that one day you'll get to see it soon.
Heck yeah.
But otherwise, check those out, and we'll see you guys next time with another episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for indulging us on this odd episode of Off the Rack. Thanks for being up for this, by the way. Appreciate you, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.